There once lived a cat in the land down under. She lived in the land's outback, living off its natural flora and fauna. And one fateful day, while fishing for her next meal, she caught a delicious catfish. Before long, the only remains left of the fish were its bones. But as the cat finished her final bite of the catfish, its spirit emerged from its body. "It seems my time has come to an end," the spirit spoke. "You, cat, please fulfill my legacy, for I am a magical catfish worshipped by all the shrimple. I shall give you sentience. In return, you must protect the shrimple's dreams and smiles." The magical catfish's spirit then rose beyond the clouds, and before I knew it, that cat had become a lot bigger. Hello? Are you guys here? Okay. Whew, good. I think you're here. Yeah? Okay, good. Are you ready? Yahoo! It's Kaho! Awake from my slumber and ready for duty. So, how do you like me? Huh? I'm big now. So that whole thing you just watched about the magical catfish and giving me this body and giving me sentience, that all happened about an hour ago. And look at me now. I'm a half cat, half catfish, half magic, bring them all together hybrid. Yeah. So yeah, after I gained sentience, I woke up and I do notice I was really, really stinky. So I decided to take a little swim in a nearby lake, and then I decided to take a little stroll around town, and you wouldn't believe it. I found so many beautiful things. There were anime figures and plushies and so much good food. It was amazing. But as I said, I was born only an hour ago, or to be more precise, an hour and 5 minutes ago. And, you know, I'm still getting used to this body, and still getting used to my voice, and yeah, still getting used to everything. So I apologize if, you know, I do anything that's weird, or if I speak weirdly. Some of you may have noticed, but I have a weird accent to me. And I also cannot pronounce my R's. And also, I do apologize for the voice acting at the start of the video. I'm still not very good at that. So I have to get better. But yeah, while I was in town, you know, I got a little bit tired walking around everywhere. And so I was like, oh, you know, I'll just take a nap. But, you know, I tried to take a nap, how I normally do, on the floor. Because, you know, I grew up in the outback. But when I tried to take a sleep on the floor, people kept stepping over me and tripping over me. And I didn't like it. So I decided to find a cardboard box and make that my home. Yeah? How do you like it? I made it nice and homely. I hope you guys like my home. I don't really know how you got in here, but welcome nonetheless. I'm happy to have you here. Also, another thing, you know, I remembered recently that, you know, the mission that magical catfish gave me before his spirit flew beyond the clouds to protect your dreams and smiles. And I thought really hard about how to do that. And while I was out in town, I actually discovered this magical thing. It was so magical, almost as magical as the magic that made me what I am right now. This big humanoid thing. And it's called the internet. The internet. And yeah, it was just really cool. And you know, you can reach so many people around the world. And so I thought, what better way to reach your hearts, to protect your dreams and smiles, than to become your Oshi? So that's what I'm trying to do now. And so I thought, you know, why don't we get to know each other a bit better? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So, you know, one thing I noticed is the internet, it's all run on HTML. And I was like, wow, so HTML must be the source of the magic. So I actually, in the hour that I was alive, decided to learn HTML and CSS as well. And I thought, you know, what better way for you guys to be able to learn about me than through a HTML website. So, would you like to go check it out? Yeah? Okay, I'll be 1 second. Yeah. Yahoo! I'm back! So, this is my website, Kaho and Yanako's debut website. I know it's a little bit bare bones, but I did only have an hour to make it. So, I hope you guys appreciate it. Also, you may notice the background color, it's very similar to the color of my hair. So if I scroll down a little bit, you may notice a little about button here. Let's click it. Yeah? Yeah. Oh. So I guess I forgot to add text. Oh. Oh? Oh? Oh, I see what's up. I accidentally made the color of the text the same as the background color. Silly me. Okay, so let's go through this one by one now. Yeah? Okay. So my name is Kaho. Or you can call me Kaho or Kaho-chan. Or any other name that you guys think of. My height, I would say my height is pretty average. You know, it's 154 centimeters. Next up is my birthday. So I don't actually remember my my original birthday. So I guess if I gained this body an hour ago, I suppose that makes my birthday today. So it's the 23rd of August. Here written as the 23rd of the 8th, because that's how we write it in the land down under. Now I do know for some of you who aren't in the land down under right now, it may be the 22nd of August, and that's okay, because I can just share both birthdays. Yeah? How's that sound? I can have both of the days be my birthday. Yeah. Next up, my age. So I don't actually remember how old I originally was, but I guess if I was born today, that makes me 0 days old. If we're being more precise, 1 hour old. Yeah. And finally, my blood type, for anyone who wants to know. So while I was walking around town, I actually scraped my knee, and you wouldn't believe it, because my blood type is actually blue. Yeah. So for anyone who wants to know my blood type is blue. I hope that's useful to you. Okay, until the next slide. Yeah? Next up, we have my likes and dislikes. So, starting with the like side, I really like chips. They're really tasty, they're really warm and soft, and they're just the best. They're one of my favorite foods. Not my absolute favorite. I think it's probably my second favorite food, right behind shrimp, as you can see below the chips. But yeah, chips, I love them. Now, some of you, I have noticed, may call them fries, but here in the land down under, we actually call them chips, okay? So they're not fries, they're chips. However, you will notice on the dislike side, I do really hate chips. They're just some of my least favorite things. They don't feel good in your mouth. They don't taste good. I really hate chips. Now I do understand, once again, some of you may call these crisps. However, here in the land down under, we call them chips. So just remember that. I love chips, but I hate chips. So if I say I'm gonna go eat chips, I'm eating chips, but not chips. Yeah? Yeah. I'm just gonna take a sip of water real quick. Next up, I really love anime figures. While I was taking a stroll in town, I actually saw a storefront window and it had some anime figures in it. And I was like, wow, that's so beautiful. And so I'm in love with anime figures. I also really love cute women. I love plushies. They're just so nice. You can hug them. You can cuddle with them. You can play with them. They're just the best. I also, so after waking up, after gaining consciousness, I was really stinky. So I went to go take a little swim in a nearby lake. and I actually met a shrimple. And the shrimple came up to me and was like, "Oh, great, Kaho, please bestow me with guidance and knowledge." And I ate him. Yeah, it was really tasty. And so that's how I found out that shrimp is actually my favorite food in the whole world. I also really love board games. I could play board games all day, every day, for hours on end. In fact, I actually own some board games, and some of them take about 8 hours to play. So yeah, that's how committed I am. And they're some of my favorite board games. I do own board games. They take less than 8 hours to play, but a full, schedule a day, do nothing but play board games in a day. That's the best feeling in the world. I also really love hugging things. It just makes you feel so warm and cuddly and fuzzy, and it's just the best. I also, while I was taking a stroll around town, I managed to get a meal. And in that meal, you wouldn't believe it, but there was actually shrimp in the meal. And the shrimp was probably my favorite part of the meal. So shrimp is my favorite food. And finally, my favorite beverage is chai latte. It's just really tasty. It is the best beverage in the world. No arguments. Now I do understand, some of you may disagree with me on this one, but I really hate coffee. Like, I really hate it. It's bitter. It makes you need to pee a lot. It keeps you up at night. I had a sip of coffee before. Didn't like it. Nuh-uh. So I really hate coffee. And the other ones on the dislikes, I really cannot deal with horror games. They're super scary, and I feel like I'm gonna die all the time, and I don't like horror games. And also, I really hate cold weather. It's just, especially when it's windy or it's raining, I just don't like it. Okay, and I think that's it for my slideshow. So yeah, I hope you appreciate the color scheme. Oh, so I guess there's more. I don't know how that got in there, but if it's there, it's there. So next up are my goals. There's 55 of them. I did have much more, but I decided to cut it down to 55. So let's take a look at my goals, yeah? Okay. So I've split them into 9 categories, plus our final category that just has all the goals together. And before I start, actually, I've got a little bit of a confession to make. So I have many goals. I have many things I want to get good at. But, I was only born an hour ago. I'm not very old. And so I have a lot of goals that require me to be very good at things, but I'm not very good at them right now. And, some of you may watch and be like, "Oh wow, she's not very good at these at these things." And that's true, but I hope over time I can achieve my goals and my dreams and work towards getting better at them. And I hope you'll all be there to support me along my journey. Yeah? Yeah! Okay, so let's start with the first category. The first category are my community goals. So goals to do with you guys. So first up, I have to protect your dreams and smiles. That is my number one goal, my number one absolute top priority goal. My second goal is to build an awesome community with you all. And my third and final goal is to make someone laugh so hard their stomach hurts. Yeah. The next category are my silly goals. So first up, I wish to grow a flower of my own. Grow my very own flower. Because I actually tried this once before and the flower died very quickly. And so I want to grow my own flower and have it stay alive. Yeah. And I wish to finish a horror game one day. I know I said I'm very scared of them and I'm very bad at them, but I do hope that, there's so many good horror games out there, like Outer Wilds, for example, and I'm just not able to finish it because I'm too scared. And so I want to be able to finish a horror game with you all one day. I know it may sound a bit silly, but these are my silly goals. I have a big fear of big boobs. I don't know, I feel like if I were to run into one, I would get launched into the stratosphere. And if I were to lay on someone's lap and try to look up at their face, I wouldn't see their face. All I'd see is two mountains. And I don't like that. So I wish to one day overcome my fear of big boobs. Next up, I'm gonna take a sip of water first. Next up, my friends, my goals to do with friends. So, I was only born about an hour ago. I keep reminding you, but it is important. And I don't have any friends by now. I haven't made any friends yet. So one of my goals is to make a friend. Yeah. I also wish to do an offline collab with a friend to meet up in real life and do an offline collab. I also wish to maybe after that eat a home cooked meal together. Maybe even have a sleepover together. Maybe even go on holiday with a friend. Yeah. I also, one day, I hope to kiss someone. Doesn't have to be a friend, but one day, I wish to kiss someone. And finally, I want to have a beach episode. I want to gather all of my friends and go to the beach together and just have fun. Next up are physical things I want to make. My physical things making goals. So you can just skim over them. The ones that stand out to me are to release a poster with my very own art. To one day make my very own anime figure. Hopefully, one day. To design a card/board game of my very own. And also, I wish to one day release a whole book just containing my art. Just a whole book of my art. Yeah. Next up are making digital things goals. So once again, you can just take a skim over them. The ones that stand out to me are to create a game of my very own. To write my very own manga one day. And this next one, actually, it's a pretty big goal. Probably one of my biggest goals. But as I said, I don't have many friends right now. And so I hope to one day maybe start an agency and make my own friends. Yeah. So that's what I hope to do one day. To make my very own friends. And then finally, I want to create a gacha game. With other people, probably. Because I just love the characters in gacha games. And I want to try creating my own characters for my own gacha game. Yeah. Next up are performance goals. So goals I want to do to perform for all of you. And this first one actually, I've got another little bit of a confession to make. I can't sing. I'm very bad at singing. And so I wish to one day become good and confident enough to sing a song to you all, at least once. Yeah. I also, some of you may not know this, but I do play the saxophone. In fact, I play 2 of the saxophones. I play alto saxophone and tenor saxophone, which are very similar, basically the same instrument. And so I wish to one day be able to perform the saxophone for you all at a live concert. Yeah. And also, I wish to one day learn to dance so I can dance for you all on stage. Next are my channel goals. So goals to do with this channel. The main one here for me is to one day own my very own 3D rigging at home so that I can dance and do 3D streams with you all in the comfort of my own home. Yeah. Next up are milestones for this channel and milestones for myself. So you can read them. The main one for me is this one here. I have 1,000 or more people watching me at once. Because I want to reach as many hearts as I can. And this just means I'm reaching 1,000 hearts at once, which is amazing because it means I can protect 1,000 dreams and smiles at once. Yeah. And then finally, we have the miscellaneous goals, the random goals I couldn't fit into the other categories. So, the main ones that stand out to me are to read a light novel in Japanese. So I'm not very good at Japanese right now. I'm currently still learning it. And so I wish to one day become good enough at Japanese to be able to read a light novel in Japanese. And same with German. I'm a little bit better at German than I am at Japanese right now. But I'm focusing on Japanese a little bit more than German. And that's why Japanese is just one number before German. But yeah, the same thing with German. And then I also wish to one day take my family on a holiday because they've been so nice to me. They've done so many good things to me. And so I wish to one day be able to take my family on a holiday. And then finally, all the goals together. The general ordering is the higher the number, the longer I expect it to take. So each column might take about a year. And yeah, I've just ordered them like that. So you can take a little skim over them. But I'll take another sip of water. Okay. I'm not sure if that's all of the slides yet. I don't know what's still to come. So we got about, likes and dislikes, my goals. Have some of you noticed, perhaps, the colour scheme? We've got the purple at the back, like my hair. And then we have the aqua about button. And then yellow for my eyes and the ribbon in my hair. And then finally pink for my shirt and all of the shrimple on me. Yeah! And next up are my character sheets. So actually, I would like to maybe give you a full body showcase before I move on to the character sheets. How's that sound? Yeah? Okay, let me get ready. Just imagine that there's like construction noises going on right now. Okay, are you guys ready? Whoop, spoilers. Here's my shoes. Aren't they pretty? So you may see there's little guys on my shoes. They're not alive, but they are cute, aren't they? And also some of you may notice their little tail on, poking out at the top of the screen. So I have a tail. Wait, how did one of you guys get on there? I guess you will have to stay there for now. But yeah, I have a tail because I'm also half catfish. Moving up to my thighs. I love one of my favorite parts about my new body is the yellow zigzaggy stripe on my tail. I really love that. And then moving up a bit further to my hips. So some of you may notice, but I've actually got a glove on my left hand, but no glove on my right hand. I actually, when I was in town, I was walking around town, with all my clothes on, naturally, because we're all born with clothes, right? Yeah. But I didn't have any gloves at the time. And so I was walking around town, and I found a glove on the floor. But there was only one glove. So I decided to take it and put it on one of my hands, but there was no second glove. So that's why I've only got one glove. Moving up a bit further, we've got my shoulders and my chest. I do notice there is another one of you on my shoulder, which is just out of reach for me to eat. I would eat you if I could. But yeah, I hope you like it. You'll see this in the character design sheets, but there's actually something really special on the back of my jacket too. And finally, my head, which you've seen all day. But I thought I'd give you a reminder. And naturally, there's another shrimple on my ahoga, because you guys just won't leave me alone. Now actually, I can do some special effects. So, I can put on my hood. This is what I look like with my hood on. Nice and comfy, right? Yeah. I can also take off my jacket. I can also become really angry at you guys. Or really sad. Or really flustered. I can also get all excited and sparkly-eyed. Or I can get all teary. Yeah. So those are my special effects. And now back to the website, the character sheets. Ha! I'm back! Yahoo! Okay, so next up, we have the character sheets. So first up, we have me with my jacket on, just like usual. Next up, we have me with my hood on, just like this. We also have me with my jacket off. And next up, it's actually a very special character sheet because it's a character sheet of you guys, the shrimple. So you guys, you aren't actually the catfish. You guys are the shrimp on the catfish's ahoga? Whisker? Which one is it? But yeah, that's you guys. And, because you're too small to get around in the natural world, you actually hop on the catfish's ahoga. I'll call it an ahoga. And mine, consensually sign a contract with them and ask them very politely to walk you around wherever you want to go. So that's how you guys get around, and that's what you look like. And then finally, we have me, back when I was a cat. And maybe one day, I'll learn magical abilities enough to be able to become a cat again. Yeah? Yeah! So that's it for the character sheets. And next up, we actually have my tags. So, any live streams or clips that you guys have of me, you can use the hashtag Let's Freaking Kaho. Any fan art you guys have of me, you can use the hashtag Kahat. Any memes you guys have of me, you can use the hashtag Kahaha. And your fan name. I've already said it a couple times today. But you guys are actually the Shrimple. So Shrimple for single, one Shrimple, or two Shrimple for plural. It's the same word. And the Oshi mark is just a shrimp emoji because you guys are shrimps. I'm no shrimp. I'm average height. But I do have shrimp all over me. And so that's why it's a shrimp emoji. Next up, we have credits. Oh, spoiler. We have the credits. So this one's actually just a moving slideshow. So the character design was done by me, Kaho. The live 2D art was also done by me, Kaho. The live 2D rigging was also done by me, Kaho. The lore storyboard, also done by Kaho. And finally, the lore art was also done by me, Kaho. And one thing I forgot to add was the starting screen animation was also done by me, Kaho. And finally, the music was done by the wonderful Tom Feldman. So thank you very much, Tom Feldman, for making the background music and the starting animation music. And then finally, the credits, just a full list of credits, is right here. So take a good look at them. And we've got one more slide to go. So the final slide is the schedule. So I was planning to create like a more beautiful schedule, but then I thought it's pretty in theme to use a website for now. So I put my schedule into this website, into HTML, and I hope it's readable. So tomorrow, Sunday, the 24th of August, at 2 a.m. JST, is my debut after party. Or for anyone who lives in the Pacific time, it's 10 a.m. or GMT 5 p.m. But it is the day before, so it will be the 23rd for you guys. And then the next 5 days after that, same time, when the stream started, will be, I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm happy to do anything. We can chat together. We can play games. I'm honestly happy to do anything. And then finally on Saturday, I'm not gonna stream, because I have to stay up late the night before, and so I'm gonna be super tired, and so no stream that day. Okay, and that's it for my presentation, and that's almost the end of the debut stream. But we do have a couple minutes left, so would you like to chat? Okay, let's go chat. Yahoo! So, how'd you like it? Did you like my wonderful coding skills? Some of you may have noticed I've actually got a little window in my house. I was actually, gonna cut out a real window. But then, I realized it's very dark outside right now in the land down under. It's very dark. And so I thought, why not just draw my own sunlight? Ignore the fact where the light is coming from. I also installed electricity. I am an electrician, a certified electrician. I did my own electrical work. So I hope you guys like the lighting installed. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it today. I hope you'll be there tomorrow, same time. And that's the end. We're out of time. Okay. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow.